Alright, so you're back from the store. We're ready for episode 31, motherfuckers. We got Rob. Oh shit, I actually got his name right.
Yeah.
That's probably only because I've got like 20,000 family members that are named Robert, including myself. My middle name is Robert.
There you go.
Yeah, hard to forget that one. So, we were talking to you in between the break and discussing how you have quite the history with police, the PD, not including when you worked for them. What the fuck, then? Oh, before we get started, I am Tony and this is Mr.
Frank.
And our guest host is, like I said today,
Rob.
Mr. Rob is here following up from last episode. Last episode was our another Marine Memories episode for you military lovers out there.
And on Veterans Day, too.
And on Veterans Day. Is that going to drop on Veterans Day?
Yep.
Son of a bitch. It's almost like we planned this correctly.
And then the day before is the Marine Corps birthday.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
When was the Marine Corps established?
November 10th, 1775.
Rob, that's why you are the man. Frank, what was with that hesitation?
I was going to say 1775, but then Rob brought up the actual fucking date.
Wait, the Marines were established in 1775?
Yep.
In a bar.
This is before the 1776 is the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I had no idea that they predated the Constitution. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you know the fucking scene in The Patriot where fucking Mel Gibson goes into a bar and he's like fucking, oh hail King George.
No, because I've never seen it.
Oh, well that's exactly how the fucking Marine Corps was established.
Oh, cool, fun.
I don't know about the King George thing, but yeah, that's how it was.
Probably not King George.
Beer and guns, man. That's what the Marine Corps is all about.
Oh wait, no, yeah, it would be King George, right? Because that's who we. Holy shit! History is wonderful. Alright, so what about your police experiences have us raptured here during the break? You brought one up in particular that was in Louisiana?
Yeah, a little out of state action, so.
Alright, well let's pull that up close to make sure that we don't get any distortion.
Alright.
And let's hit this off. Let's see what, and Frank, feel free to come and do the episode whenever you feel
okay.
like you have something to say.
Alright, so at the time I was working for the state. And it was when that BP oil spill happened, and they had to clean up the Gulf. And
BP being?
British Petroleum.
Yes.
They had that offshore rig blow up.
For those people, those younger people that don't pay attention to their recent history.
Exactly. So that happens, and I had some friends take off over there to go work. And I figured I have a state job, I'm not going to leave. But I saw how much money they were making, I ultimately made the choice to leave. So I fly over there, everything on my back, and go to work. We're in this small town called Houma, Louisiana. It is what they like to call down the bayou, which is what I guess here we call the ghetto.
Oh, okay, the sticks.
Yeah, the sticks. So we're out there. I'd already been out there a bit, and we had just got off the barge, and we were ready to party. And we go to the bar that night. Well, I put on my work pants again, and apparently, I had a knife in my pockets, or my knife in my pocket was still there. And we're at this bar.
Continue.
And we're talking, my buddy and I, and he starts chatting with some chicks. And I'm just there drinking. We'd already had a couple shots. We'd had some drinks and whatnot. We're feeling good. I'm actually 3 sheets to the wind. And the bar that we're at, it's called Rooftop. And because it's on the second level of this other bar. And we're at the Rooftop bar. And we can see behind the bar, there's windows, and I see the whole line of police officers coming in. I'm
shit.
I nudge my buddy, I'm like, hey man, the cops are coming. I don't give a fuck, I'm talking to these chicks, shut up, bitch. And I'm like, alright.
Just completely fucking not paying attention at all.
So my whole family being in law enforcement, and the fact that I used to work in law enforcement prior to this, I'm courteous with the officers. They come in, and we're right here by the entrance. So they come in, and I'm right here at the corner. I'm like, good evening, officers, how you all doing? Sir, turn around and put your hands behind your back. Whoa, what the fuck?
Based on what?
Exactly, right? So, dude, next thing I know, my hands are behind my back. I feel the cuffs go on. I'm like, hey, what the fuck you doing, my friend? And they're like, they said he has a knife. He ain't got no damn knife. And like, they start escorting me down the stairs, right? Or out the door, down the, the balcony, to the, to the stairs, and then take me down.
Okay.
As I'm coming down the stairs, everything's happening so fast. There's people are yelling. My buddy's screaming behind me. He's a fucking Marine. He's a war hero.
Oh shit!
I'm not a fucking war hero, dude. I didn't do shit. I think the most I did was get like I passed an expert level on Guitar Hero when I was out in Iraq. So,
hey, don't sell yourself short. That is a wonderful and amazing accomplishment.
So he's screaming all this shit, and they're taking me down the stairs, and I see this camera, big old camera with the light on. I'm like, am I on cops? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so they put me against the car. They start frisking me, and they're like, he said, what knife are you talking about? We found the knife. They found my work knife. I'm like, ah, shit. And
but it wasn't like a machete, was it?
No,
like,
I mean, it was a standard knife.
6-inch.
But apparently, so we found this out later, somebody in the bar had said that there was 2 Hispanic guys in the bar, and one of them had a knife. And that I was threatening people with them. Now, you gotta remember, when I say Houma, Louisiana, and this down the bayou, it's a very racist town.
Right,
like
it's one way or the other on the side of the tracks.
I mean, that's one of the few times that I've been a minority.
Wow.
Especially being from South Texas, Hispanics were predominant here.
In the South generally.
Yeah. So, I'm like, okay, this is all happening. Dumb luck, we get the one Hispanic officer responding to this scene after the other guys, and so she's like down to help us out. I'll make the long story short, she talks to her coworkers, they get me out of the car. As they're doing this, I look over to the corner of the stairwell that I just came down, and I see this guy, white guy, talking very matter-of-factly and talking and pointing to me, and I can read lips pretty well, and I can see, like, yeah, that was him. He was threatening people. And I was like, was it you motherfucker? You're the one talking shit? I'll fucking kill you!
You're an idiot.
Yeah, dude. And they're like, the officer's like, I just got you out of fucking cover, you stupid, like, what the fuck? She said, get in the cab. She goes in the cab, because she asks us how we're going to get home. My buddy's like, my truck's right there. My buddy's way more toasted than I am.
Right.
And she's like, you're not driving anywhere.
Obviously.
And she's like, no, we're getting you a cab. So they put us in the cab, and we take off. We went right back. After we got back to the apartment, we went straight back to the scene and fucking got his truck. And we went to Waffle House. And it was
okay.
great.
You didn't go back to start drinking again.
Yeah, no. We didn't go back to start. Yeah, we had beer at the house. So we're like, all right, we can't come back here, obviously.
Well, at least you had the wherewithal to pay attention to that detail, not fucking...
Oh, yeah. So check it out. Oh, I forgot one key thing. As we're coming down the stairs, and I see this cameraman backing up and still filming me.
Oh, yeah, what was with the cameraman?
Honestly, to this day, I still don't know.
That's fucking crazy.
I watched so many episodes of Cops, and I have not seen Houma, Louisiana come out. But, I mean, I don't know what it was for, but I just remember, like, I was like, man, get that fucking camera out of my face. Boom, and I threw a kick at him.
Oh, shit.
And thank God I didn't get charged with attempted assault or whatever they could have.
Well, or, like, personal...
Well, I didn't hit him. I just threw the kick.
The camera film.
Yeah, so...
Sue you for damages to property.
But, yeah, that was one of the run-ins with the cops there in Louisiana. There was a couple.
Frank, have you had any run-ins with the cops that you'd like to share?
Plenty, but not any like fucking at this level to where fucking, hey, fucking check this out.
I don't know. There might be one in there somewhere.
He dove on a hand grenade to save his friends.
I recently read one. Well, I'm an Audible guy. I don't read because I don't have fucking time. I work at a factory 11 hours a day, so my best bet is to just throw the headphones in and fucking listen to a book now and then. The more recent military one was called The Dead Drink First by Dale Maharaj. It's a really good, it's basically a documentary in audio form about CTE and the way it affected this guy's dad and the story of when it possibly could have happened. And it goes into trying to find this guy who was killed in this particular instance back in World War II maybe it was Vietnam. And yeah, real good books. But you were saying that you just picked up a book.
Yeah, it's well, there's 2 of them. It's You Are Worth It by Kyle Carpenter. He's a Medal of Honor recipient, and it's about his experience he literally died a few times during this ordeal, and it's been his transition from obviously being medically retired from the Marine Corps into civilian life. I believe he already graduated from the University of South Carolina. And then the other book is simply called Chaos, which was General Mattis's call sign. If you know General Mattis, he was our former Secretary of Defense before he resigned under Trump. He led us in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he's a great man, very, very intelligent guy. And so his book was again entitled Chaos, which was his call sign when we were out in Iraq. And he will bring chaos. He's a very humble man and very soft-spoken, but he carries a big stick, just like Teddy Roosevelt, man. And yeah, he will fuck shit up. He had some great quotes. It says,
So did Teddy Roosevelt.
"Be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everyone you meet."
Yeah,
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, mine too.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the fucking cops, the fucking cop vehicles.
Yeah, they're pretty shit
Fuck me, I
nowadays.
guess.
Go ahead.
No, you were the one talking when the fucking thing went off. The fucking
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I know. We'll get back to it.
Oh yeah, we're just saying how the stealth units are bullshit, man. I mean, and especially worse than that are the assholes who buy the fucking Crown Vics and don't change it up, and you're over here slamming on your fucking brakes, and it's just some dickhead who's just like you, probably drinking a beer too.
Yeah. You know they are. Cause
Yeah.
those fucking Crown Vics are like what, $500 at the auction house? Because
Yeah.
nobody fucking wants them except for assholes.
Yeah, but then you should be smart enough to fucking know that they don't use Crown Vics anymore.
I mean, true, fair.
Yeah.
But it's no different.
You never
than
know,
like
man.
It's
Smaller
like
apartments.
Chargers now and Challengers.
Yeah.
Both of those.
And Explorers, that's what, yeah, I think it's
I
the
mean, now it
Explorers.
really doesn't fucking matter. You never know what they're gonna be. You know they're not gonna be a European model or like a Toyota, at least.
Well, it's because we don't have the budget down here to afford
All right, some
high
place, I
end.
think Cali, do they have the Nissan GTR or something?
They might-
There was some place that had one.
Or they have Lambos. They'll have like one or two Lambos to
Those
catch the
yeah,
cross rockets
those
and to
speed-
catch, those kind of cars.
What do they fucking call those? I'm just never gonna catch words today. They're just flying out my ears like
Oh, okay.
fucking butterflies.
Oh, well, you tried.
I tried. I made a valiant effort. So you, Frank, so you're not gonna let us know about any good times that you got arrested? You ever been arrested? Cuffed? Taken in?
of time.
Yeah. What was the more recent one?
The most recent one was
Or
actually
or
it
do you
was
want
my
to do the one
fucking
before that?
he was my fucking bondman in the fucking most recent one.
You bonded it, bail bond.
Yeah, I was a bail bondsman.
Wow, that sounds weird. You bonded him out, like you
Yeah.
bondaged him. Did you tie him up real good?
No.
No.
I fucking they tell me like fucking don't you have a fucking visitor and I'm like okay and then I was hoping I don't remember who the fuck I was hoping it was and then I fucking the door opens and I see this guy and the first thing I tell him like I've never been so glad to see your faggot face.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to beep that out. Thanks for that. Which I just learned how to do, by the way, so I can actually do that now. That's
Oh
great.
shit.
Yeah, look forward to that on
Yeah,
this
but we're
episode drop.
completely inappropriate.
Well, some things are just not worth getting.
Using
If
that
we ever
F word is
get, if we
inappropriate.
ever get these episodes monetized, we don't want it.
I was gonna say, what did Eminem say? If the FCC just let me be me, so let me see. Try to shut me down on MTV. Oh damn!
Feels
How do I know
so
this?
without me.
There we go. God dang!
Some of us
I'm
have
a
no
hellion.
life.
Kids feeling rebellious.
Embarrass the parents still listen to Elvis.
Alright, no, we're not doing a whole Slim Shady record right now.
But yeah, man, fucking, and then there was this one time that I fucking, I don't know. Well, I know exactly what it was. It was my fucking ego. I went
Ego's
over.
a killer.
Yeah, I went over to this fucking. I took.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 prove that.
I took my then fucking fucking clique, my then group of friends, over to a fucking after party around the fucking.
You had
Sure.
friends like I had in like junior high, like the gayest, strangest people you hung out with. That was like my group du jour in fucking high school and like shortly after high school. And when I was dating your friend and I met you and you were hanging around this crew, I was like, am I falling back into fucking like childhood right now? And you like seemed like me back when I was a fucking kid. It was like, what the fuck? It was a real mindfuck for me.
Yeah, it's a real trip. Fucking you and I coming together. But you know,
Yeah, there's a lot-
Sharonland,
there's
Purple
a-
Kids,
Sorry?
Purple Kids from Sharonland. That was my crew.
No, I had some just ghetto gay kids. Not even ghetto. Like I don't know what. I don't know. Like you can't. We were just druggies, man. Just cocaine, weed, and fucking beer. You know.
All this fun shit didn't start for me until after I got out of the Marines.
Yeah,
Really?
It'll do it for you. I know a kid that fucking was not a kid now. He's just 30. He looks like a fucking kid because of his fucking height. But yeah, I know this kid that fucking he'll tell you he was innocent and a fucking virgin up until his fucking first deployment in the Marine.
Well, I mean, it's gotta happen sometime. Is it just as opportune when opportunity strikes? If the Marines happens to offer you up opportunities that you didn't have before, you're gonna take them.
Yeah.
Well, the opportunity for me was that I got to say I was enlisted. I was going to go to war, so that got me laid before I left.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh no shit. Right. There's always that one girl.
Spring break, man. Oh, and the funny thing was, I saw her a month later at church.
Break. You up your odds though, making it a spring break.
Well, it was at spring break, and I was in high school. I was a senior. Yeah, at the island.
At South Padre Island.
Yep, in 2004, and she was a college chick.
That was back when it was still like the #1 spring break destination.
You know, back when people didn't get stabbed or shot. You know,
or drowned 24 fucking times a year.
Or, you know, like in an inch of water because they were all X'd out or some shit.
Too much drugs out there, man. I heard there was, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into that.
But yeah, fucking, I saw that girl a month later, dude, at church with her boyfriend.
Oh, that's how that goes.
That was fun.
Hey, that's one of our fucking inappropriate questions. If you've ever been in a fucking extramarital affair or fucking, you know.
I've been in plenty, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
I feel like we would have very similar stories here.
Oh my god. Like recently, like last month or a month and a half recently, yeah, I banged my buddy's ex-wife.
Oh, good for you. Let's put that out there.
Well, sorry, he already knows about it and he's cool with it. He was just mad that she left his kid at the house, and I was like, but she lives with her parents, so the kid wasn't alone.
He was with the grandparents.
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you mad about? I mean,
well,
other than the obvious, but that's not what he was mad about. He wasn't mad that I banged her, he was mad that she left the kid by himself.
There's nothing about this story that's not cringeworthy. This is a real cringy
Oh,
story.
I can get really cringy if you really want, but...
I mean, let's get inappropriate. Tell us what happened.
Oh, shit, alright, so check it out. So, I'm one of three. Right? So I have a younger brother, I have an older brother. I'm the middle child. Well, my older brother...
Of course you are.
My older brother is I say half brother, but step brother, whatever you want to call it. Different dad, same mom. Well, his dad couldn't keep his wiener in his pants, right? So his dad has a lot of other kids.
It happens.
Well, one of them's from here, and we grew up together, her and I. We're about 5 years apart. And her mother pushed a relationship on us. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't like it because she's hot, but...
Wait, with your stepsister?
She's not my stepsister.
Right,
that's his stepsister.
Oh, okay.
To me, she's nothing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's just the fact that it's my half-brother's half-sister.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I ended up dating her and taking her virginity according to her. I don't believe that because she sucked dick way too good for that shit for her to be a virgin.
Well, I mean, some girls stick to you know,
true.
That one
very
thing
true.
For a very long time.
So yeah. So anyway, I ended up sleeping with her, and what's it called? Yeah, man.
So you slept with your stepbrother, stepsister. Nothing, no relation to you.
Yeah,
but still, what kind of family dynamic does that cause after does that come out?
My brother and I are still cool.
He doesn't say shit?
No, I mean, I always kind of throw it to his face every time he pisses me off. I'm like, fuck your sister, shut up.
Damn! That's some Dark Horse comic shit right there, man.
Oh.
Oof. I don't want to play with your family. Y'all are fucking heavy. So, I don't fucking...
Thanksgiving clapback's coming around.
So,
yeah,
I mean, I'm almost scared
to
ask, if we're going to go on to the questions, it makes me really curious curious but scared to ask, what would your kink be? Are you you're kinky, let's face it. I don't need to ask that question. What is your favorite kink? Is there one?
You know?
Or do you prefer variety?
He loves them all equally.
Pretty much, I mean...
Well, so we were talking during the break about how my addiction really isn't to any specific drug or any specific like substance. What I'm addicted to is novelty. Is the novelty of the thing that I'm not doing right now. So if I'm drinking, I'm real bored with drinking, I'm ready to quit that, I'm like, well, where's that fucking Coke at, you know?
Exactly.
You know, and now I get one fucking little baggie of Coke and I'm hating myself by the next day, and I'm like, well, that's not novel anymore, I got that out of my system, let me throw that away for another few months. And go fucking find some weed, man. Go smoke a giant or two, and then fucking, well, I've done that for a fucking month now. So it's really the novelty of the fucking item. So when it comes to sex, it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, and I feel like, well, same deal, you know, like, the only reason I'm drinking today is because I haven't drank in probably about a month. I ended up going on a hell of a bender, which I didn't think was as bad as some of the ones that I've been on, but this was the one that actually caused a grand mal seizure from the withdrawals.
Whoa, no way!
Yeah, so I actually had a fucking full-on seizure. And
so was it from the alcohol withdrawal?
Yeah, it was from the withdrawals.
Damn, son.
It happens between 6 to 8 hours, or I'm sorry, 6 to 48 hours since you stopped drinking.
But how much were you drinking? Because I've gone through like a fucking bottle every 2 nights, like a half a bottle at night.
Yeah, I've been at that level too, but that's when I was younger. So like now that I'm a little bit older.
I mean, dude, I'm 30. Like this
Yeah, I'm
was just a
33.
couple weeks ago. I was drinking at this level, like until I decided to do this marathon in serious and earnest and quit proper again.
At this point, I hadn't slept in about 3 days.
That's the problem.
I just been drinking and
Yeah,
drinking around the
you're
clock.
not flushing all that fucking shit from your brain. Like there's scientific evidence that there's a certain chemical, I never fucking remember what it is, that only drains out of your brain because there's only one route in and out of your brain. It's the brainstem, and it only activates this function where you drain this negative fucking shit in your this negative chemical in your brain. Only happens when you're sleeping. So if you're staying up for fucking 3 nights just pounding beer, yeah, everything is gonna fucking be hyper affecting you.
Yep. And there was some other fun stuff.
Seizure. How about that, man? So, did you end up in the hospital with that?
Okay, so the thing was, that morning, the night before, or earlier in the morning, around midnight to between midnight and 3, I had people at my house, and I've been telling them I wanted to go to the hospital, to go back to the behavioral center so I can detox.
Yeah. And
And they were like, no, you don't need to do that. My buddies were convincing me, hey, we all shake, we all this, we all that, you just gotta chill out and just relax. And I was like, nah, dude, something feels different this time. I've been through this too many times before.
Right.
Something feels different.
Yeah.
So, the last person didn't leave till about 8 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my good friend since like high school, and he stayed there because he really didn't want me to go to the hospital, and he stayed there as long as he could, and then he took off. I called the ambulance around 11. I took off, went to the hospital. They started rehydrating me, and in the evening they sent me to the behavioral center, but they already know me there, so they already had all my paperwork ready. So I got in really quick. Only thing I was waiting on was to get the medication.
Right.
Now, if I would have gotten the medication that I needed, which is a benzo, it probably would have prevented the seizure because benzos are anti-seizure medications. But right before I got it, that's when it happened. We'd gone out for the last smoke break. I remember smoking a cigarette, and then I remember as soon as I finished, my vision tunneling, I guess it's called the aura, right, before you get a seizure, everything felt weird. I just felt like this wave of panic, and so I stumbled inside, and the technician, who I know very well, she's a very sweet girl, she was like holding me, and she's like, hey, just sit down, and I was like, no, I can't sit down, like I'm freaking out, and I was like, and that was the last thing I remember. And next thing I know, I remember, like, I was like on the mat, and my arm was on fire. They were injecting me with Ativan intramuscular. They were giving me an intramuscular injection of that.
What's Ativan?
Ativan's a benzo. It's an anti-anxiety medication, but it works as an anti-seizure. They were giving me that before they sent me to the ER. Like, the EMTs were already on their way. They came and picked me up, took me back to the hospital. They ended up admitting me that day for post-seizure monitoring, plus after that, they did my blood work. They're like, his CK levels are high. I was like, I already know what that means. I have rhabdo, don't I? Rhabdomyolysis is when you're
dehydrated.
Yeah,
to the point
super dehydrated, or it's a crush injury. But in my case, of course, the dehydration.
Right.
So they kept me there for about 3 or 4 days, just pumping me with IVs. Mm-hmm. And I went through every single one. I had your standard saline, your lactated ringers, and your banana bags.
Fuck.
I went through everything, and of course, that's what happened. And so that's why I stopped drinking for the most part, and I started getting into working out again and whatnot. But my dad's always going to be my kryptonite, because my dad's a drinker.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and he's a police officer, and he's a really good guy and everything. But I figure that after 30 plus years of seeing all the crap you see on the streets as a police officer, especially being in the special divisions that he was in, yeah, you probably do need to drink a little bit to suppress those memories.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's like, I got with him the other day. We were doing some repairs at my house. And, of course, we had a couple beers. And so, even though I woke up fine this morning, like, I just told Frank, I was like, well, I get, like, a little weirded out in cars. It's something I've dealt with since I got out of the Marines.
You made excuses.
Yeah, pretty much.
You made excuses, dude.
You make excuses.
Like, let's be real about it.
Yeah,
man, don't feel bad about it. Like,
no, it's
I'm
true.
okay with relapses.
Yeah.
If you relapsing is part of being an addict. The problem isn't when you relapse. The problem is when your relapse continues into the point of fucking a full-blown addiction again, and you're back to fucking up your life again. Like, if you can keep it under control and say, like, let reality set in and realize when you're just making excuses for yourself and be like, look, man, I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I can't stop. I really can't. But if it's a problem, I got to try and quit again. And that's where I was in the last few weeks. I was like, nope, I don't like the way that this is going. I'm starting to spend more money on it. I'm spending less time doing the other things that I want to do, like fucking running and working out and taking care of my body and spending time with my son, watching movies with my wife at night. Instead of doing all that, I'm there fucking at the computer just having a couple shots and playing video games and getting lost in my own fucking thoughts. So like, nope, that's the part I don't like about it. Like, I have no other problem with fucking any sort of addiction other than I don't like the way it takes up so much of my fucking time. I'm very much a functional addict. Like, I can be on anything at any point with anyone and nobody can tell the fucking difference 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
Therein lies the problem of fucking addiction, is when you can fucking get away with it. You know, because I grew up with a fucking golden rule. If you're not smart enough to get away with it, you're not smart enough to have been trying to do it at all.
Yep, that's what my mom says. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even put that together. There's a very popular expression that people around the world hear, and it means the exact same fucking thing. If you break it down, it means don't get fucking caught.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, of course, and if you already know how it's going to affect you, then you probably shouldn't do it. Like for me, like knowing that it can get to the point where I might need,
bring that a little closer.
where it might need some intervention. You know, knowing that it can get to that point, and once it gets to that point, I'm going to feel really shitty for at least a week.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's with medication. You know.
Yeah. Now, are you one of those that once you feel real shitty for like a week and you're like, why am I doing this? Do you just double down?
No, I'm like one of those that's like, no.
Now it's time to chill out.
Yeah, it's time to chill out, and you know. And like I said, I was kind of beating myself up the other night because I was already on track for another perfect week because I have the Apple Watch. It tracks your movements and workouts and all that.
I love that shit.
Yeah, dude, like it was keeping me motivated. And then,
dude, we should link up. I have nobody to share that with.
I'll share with you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Yeah, my friend finally put her damn shit on today.
Remember, I'm training for a marathon starting this week, so
I do it at least 8 to 10 miles a day.
No shit.
Well, I mean, not running, but I mean just
in general.
Yeah, in general, yeah, walking or whatever.
Right,
so, but yeah, fucking.
Hey, McAllen Marathon's right around the corner. You down? Come on.
Isn't that where that fucking commissioner died or whatever?
Yeah,
Crane
doing it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he started.
He went home and then he just like collapsed. Like, what the fuck?
Hey man, some people just bite off more than they can chew. It doesn't mean it's like.
When it's your time, it's your time.
Hey, you can overdrink alcohol too and pass out, or you just have a couple and enjoy it.
You know,
I
honestly,
do a couple marathons a year, and I've trained my body for it. You don't fucking just go at it. Never fucking run fucking more than 10 miles and try and get 26.2.
Oh fuck no. I'm flashing back to like when we did the half marathon in Japan.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, we did the half marathon, and I'm just remembering like how when I was crossing the finish line, my legs felt like jello, and I collapsed, and I crawled.
Isn't that the best feeling though? Tell me that high afterwards once you.
The best feeling was when I lit up my damn Newport and I opened my lungs up again. Dude, but you know what the fucking thing was? After that, they had a breakfast for us. Oh my! It was a buffet, and it was so much food, and it was all so good. Well, it was eggs, and there was fruit, and it was all healthy stuff, but it was good. It smelled amazing.
Yeah,
but I was.
Those you see like pizza pockets.
I was so tired that I could not fucking like even eat. Like I was like, I feel so sick.
Yeah, sometimes it takes. If you're not used to it, it could really take a toll. Like I'm able to eat within an hour or so afterwards if you just give me enough time. Nowadays I'm pretty well conditioned. I recover real fast.
Yeah, I mean.
But I remember that first time I did an 8-mile run. It was like my first goal I had made. At the end of it, I fucking collapsed there, and I felt like I was having a mushroom trip. Like my body was like electrified, and my breath, like although I felt myself breathing normal because I had conditioned my breathing. It was like my blood hadn't fucking circulated the oxygen yet, so my fucking body was like electrified, you know, and my brain was like so confused at the same time because I was somewhat dehydrated, but not really.
Yep.
So it's that runner's high that's one thing, but when you run a hard, long run that you have no business really run, like you just push yourself that one step further, you can have the best high you've ever had.
Yep.
And now I've been chasing that fucking drive. That's the reason running is still my fucking, one of my favorite addiction, really. Because I get that every once in a while you get that fucking buzz on that fucking run, and man, that's the most novel fucking high I've ever had.
Dr. Dolly, do you run or do you exercise? And
Oh yeah, because
I
your
was
heart
like-
beat's at like 60 beats, right? Or
Yeah. Actually, I've got my
Resting
heart
heart
rate.
rate?
I've got my resting heart rate under 60 beats a minute.
I did for a very short time when I was at like a month before my marathon run. I think I was down to like 58 beats a second, a minute. And I was
That's
like,
where I
oh,
was at a
that's
few
better.
days ago, and all I've been doing is just walking. But like, I've tried to do like some HIIT training, you know, the
Yeah.
high intensity interval training, etc. But yeah, I mean, I got it down, and so
Yeah, I'm
it's
just
good.
now starting to get back on. Like I said, drinking just took my oomph out of doing everything.
Yeah.
I was still lifting a little bit, trying to keep my muscle, because I got down to 146 by the end of that run.
Yeah.
Actually, by the beginning of that run, I was 146. At the end of the run, I was 143. I had lost 3 pounds. So I went from...
See, I was your size when I got out of Bouquet, or when I got out of the Marines. I was 145.
Yeah, now I'm back up to 156, which is great. This is... I wanted to gain maybe another 5 pounds, but then I saw this marathon was coming up. I was like, ah, fuck it, let's do that again, lose some weight.
Yep.
I don't want to lose weight, but that's just the nature of the fucking marathon.
Yeah, I need to lose this gut. That's what I need to lose, because my chest isn't big enough to compensate for this gut.
That's how I feel, yeah. Every time I gain a little bit of weight, it goes straight around the stomach instead of the fucking upper body. Even if you're trying to work it out. Like, I can compensate a little bit, but never enough.
Yeah. Frank, you're a little quiet over there, man. What's going on?
How's it
Oh,
going,
yeah, I
man?
know. I'm fucking listening to you two fucking bond over fucking your struggles, and I'm like, I'd like to bring you two together.
They're not struggles,
What?
they're just different lives to lead, man.
Okay. So then, yeah, my fucking ego story that I fucking got cut off.
Your what?
Ego story.
Ego story?
Yeah, because you're like, hey, did you fucking get in trouble with the law? I know.
Is
you
that
got
the
in
one where you
trouble with
shit yourself?
the law. No, it's the one where I was saying that fucking I took my friends to a fucking after party, and you're like, your friends are fucking gay. And I'm like, well, they were.
No, there was that one guy, dude. That, like, he was the most fresa,
Yeah.
little Mexican boy.
Was his name Mariposa?
Sexual.
I don't know. What was
Did he go by Mariposa?
No,
I don't know what his name,
Fucking-
but that dude, and then he would like bang your girlfriend. I didn't understand it. Like,
Well, he told me, because I went and I fucking hunted his ass down because I was gonna kick
yeah,
his
this is
fucking
very
ass.
confusing.
Because I was gonna kick his fucking ass, and he, in his fucking fury, he told me, he's like, I did nothing wrong. I just fingered her. And I'm like, you mother.
Oh, that makes sense.
What do you mean?
It's
Oh,
like
well, the other
girlfriends.
person
It's
was-
like
yeah.
girlfriends making out and fingering each other when they're drunk. Like, it didn't really mean. It was
Yeah,
just
they
like
weren't drunk, right?
Oh, right.
It would be okay if. Oh, they weren't drunk either.
No, they weren't drunk. She was actively looking to fucking sleep with the guy
That's so
she gets
gross.
off on fucking
Trying to flip
separating
them?
best friends.
Oh, that was on flipping gay guys.
Yeah.
Cause that dude, come on.
Yeah.
That dude was very, very fruitacious.
Yeah.
Fruity.
Yes!
Yes, high five. Come on, I need some love for that. High five.
Yes. New word.
He was very fruitacious.
Now I'm gonna make fun of my gay friends and call them flirtatious.
You're so fruitacious. Hashtag fruitacious.
Oh,
Yeah, so
this
then,
episode.
so then I took these guys to a fucking party, an after party down in fucking Mission, which for those of you that might be aware,
Hold on,
okay,
wait for it,
there's-
wait for it.
there's a fucking TV series that took down fucking cops called Live PD.
Oh, that's great. My
They're-
buddy loves to watch that.
Yeah,
I love that show.
they're always in a town called Mission, Texas.
I'm telling
Well,
yeah, that's right, they are.
For those listening, it's right around the corner from here.
45-minute drive that way.
Yeah, and what happened? Yeah, so I took them to this fucking party, and I don't know why, but beer pong is a thing. I guess I'm not into it because I suck at it.
I played it a couple times.
But they were playing beer pong, and my fruitacious friend was like, "Oh, I'm so fucking awesome at this fucking beer
I'm
pong."
on fire
shit."
because you're gay or because you're winning a beer pong.
Yes, queen.
Yeah, and then fucking, I don't know, I guess I got tired out of fucking, or somebody wanted to play me, and I'm like, I suck. And then fucking, here's where my ego comes in. I'm like, first of all, I don't drink beer. And they're like, okay, so what do you drink? Tequila.
Shot.
So then we emptied out my fucking cups, or the cups on my side,
Oh yeah, you fucked up.
and poured fucking tequila on
Your
them.
life, son.
And then we're playing, and
Let me show you how
yeah.
to lose your mind.
And we're here. I'm like, I don't know how you measure if you're good at beer pong or not. Like, is if you're fucking drunk or the other person's drunk. And nah, let's keep playing. And these guys were like, hey man, fucking, you got a long drive because I have to go all the way to fucking Hidalgo. I'm like, you're driving, fucking, don't do this. And me, I'm like, motherfucker, you don't know me. I'm like, I used to fucking go get drunk in fucking Hollywood and then drive all the way back to fucking Pendleton, which fucking I never did.
You just
I never did. I would go.
I'm just talking shit.
Yeah, because I would
make
go.
the claim, make it real. If I believe it, I will achieve it.
Yeah, like, because I would go fucking drink and whatever, but I'd plan ahead. I'd get a fucking room close by, and then
I pay a hooker to get some head.
maybe, and go and get fucking hammered. And then if I
That's
pick
how
up,
you plan ahead.
if I pick up something, well, I'll have fucking someone to fucking take them.
There you go.
And yeah, so I don't know why the fuck I said that, but then I remember fucking the lady at the house fucking kicked us out, and I fucking got in the car, and the next thing I know, there's a fucking light in my face, like fucking.
Did
like,
you? Oh,
like,
so you blacked out?
Yeah, like if I was
You went
fucking,
from leaving the house.
like
to
if I was walking into heaven, there's a fucking light in my face, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I hear tap, tap, tap on the top of my window, and like, sir, get out, and I get out, right? And I like turn around and they start cuffing me, and then this other cop guy is all like, sir, do you know where you're at? And I can't remember what fucking street I told them, but it was a few blocks from where I actually was. I what happened was that after I dropped these kids off, as I was telling them, I'm like, wait, what about my, well, I wasn't telling them, but I was thinking, I'm like, what about my friends? I was dropping them off. You can't arrest me. But,
I love it. You gotta love the mindset of a drunk.
yeah, whatever. So then,
Actually, I feel like
it turns out,
sober.
yeah, it turns out I was a block or two from, or I had said I was a block or two away from where I actually was. And it turns out, after I dropped them off, I passed out on the fucking freeway.
That makes sense.
And my car veered off into a fucking bush.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and that's where I was fucking, that's how they found me. And so for the case, I fucking pleaded no contest, because I'm like, well, fucking whichever way I fucking spin it, I fucking blacked out driving.
Wow.
There's no way I'm gonna
there's
fucking
nothing.
fight this. Yeah, that's what I was telling the lawyer, and she's like, okay, well, cool. And, yeah, man, and then fucking, I got arrested, I ended up in fucking jail, like, as soon as I went into county, fucking, my parents bailed me out, right, and
Thank God for parents.
yeah, and I'm getting the fucking talk, and I'm like, yeah, I know, like, I fucked up, I know what I did wrong, whatever, and I get a fucking phone call, like, we're just leaving the fucking, county, and I get a fucking phone call, and it's my fruitatious friend, and he's like, hey man, where you been, we've been fucking calling you, and I'm like, well, I just got out of jail, I'm like, oh, okay. So we're going downtown or what? Like, motherfucker, did you not just fucking hear what I said? I said I just got out of fucking...
Well, when I got out of jail, I cracked a beer. I don't know what it is.
I know, right? That would be the first thing I...
It was like 2:30 in the morning. They had an ice chest full of beer in the back of the car waiting for my ass. So
Man, that was 10, so I need to smoke.
like, shit.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, we're not going fucking downtown. Fucking... So, yeah, they didn't end up going downtown because I was the one, if you remember at the time, like, fucking, I'd be...
The chauffeur?
As soon as I got... like, people would know I was drunk because I'd start buying the entire fucking bar of drinks.
Never bought me
Because I was fucking making a living fucking gambling.
Yeah, I came in at the tail end of that. You didn't have too much money left by the time I met you.
Well, fucking, this chick was a fucking leech. Remember her ringtone was fucking Gold Digger?
I
Is that the one you locked in the closet?
Yeah, she's the one that locked in the closet.
I'm sorry, the one that who locked?
The one that I locked in the closet.
And why did you do this again? Because
I was
you were reliving a Jim Morrison acid trip?
No, because I was a drunk fucking idiot.
No, so more like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, kind of. And then
You didn't set it on fire.
That's no. That's the other fucking story I was gonna bring up. That fucking we ended up outside my apartment, and I see yellow fucking polo shirts, and it's McAllen PD, and Rob is all like, oh hey, fucking where the fuck his name was, and fucking what's going on? I was like, no, we're here because we got a fucking phone call. We got a call that fucking domestic violence.
Yeah, they heard her screaming from the
I
closet.
like I like my beer like I like my violence.
Jesus.
Domestic.
No. Here's
How the hell did I
no.
end up with you? See, had I known any of this about you, I might have been a little more scared to have you in my
Here's the trippy
apartment.
part. That girl was across.
Here's the fucked up part. Not the
No,
part where I locked that girl in the
she
closet.
wasn't there. She was across over at her fucking
Grandma's.
at her aunt's apartment.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah. And that the phone call that they had heard that the one that called had heard fucking no, don't hit her or some shit like that. And then the phone call that they heard a dog barking in the background, and that it was coming from that fucking apartment. And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't have a fucking dog. Secondly, fucking, this is a fucking sausage fest. There's no fucking women here.
Right.
And they're like, well...
Even to say, no, don't hit her, it's not like there would have been 2 women there if she was there.
Yeah. Yeah, unless they were talking about fucking my cretaceous friend. No, but yeah, and then, I don't know what fucking Rob said, but fucking, yeah, the whole report thing. So they're like, okay, so the fucking, there's nothing here, there's nothing fucking here.
Right.
And I'm like, that's fucking odd. And there was fucking Rafiki Harambe, who was my roommate at the time, swore that the fucking place was fucking haunted. Because when I fucking left for fucking Vegas, or...
That motherfucker doesn't know where he's coming or going.
This motherfucker is the weirdest motherfucker I've ever met. He is the most, like, checked out individual. Like, he is a one-track mind kind of
Well,
guy.
he got shot twice in the dome, and when we were there,
What?
I'm like, yeah.
That explains why his head looks so fucked up.
that's
Real
just
face,
genetics,
That's pretty much just genetics.
Actually, to be 100% with you, he was probably...
The guy swore that it was fucking, that the apartment was haunted, because he was telling me, when I came back from one of my fucking trips, he was telling me that fucking, that he was trying to sleep in his fucking room, but that he saw 2 red lights in his fucking closet, like fucking 2 glowy red eyes, and he was like, fuck this, and he fucking booked it over his fucking mom's house.
Did you have a camera in his room?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Maybe.
And then he would also say that he would hear fucking people talking, right? So then I brought it up to one of the fucking ladies in charge of
No shit, right? Oh my god, those cocaine nights where you're up to like...
Paranoia.
Dude, I can't do it at night at all. Once the sun is down, my eyes are glued to the window. It's like I heard it. I know they're coming. The cops, they have no reason to come here. I know that, but I know they're going to be here in about 5 minutes. And you hear a car drive by like 3 blocks down, and they're like, I know that's them. They're coming. They'll be here in about 2.5 minutes, 25 seconds tops. At the fastest if they're here.
Yeah. And I would
So you put cameras in Rafiki's room, and
No,
then...
I didn't put cameras. It's just the guy fucking, I guess, because he really was coked out. Like, these guys...
really?
No, a few
I didn't know
times.
that.
A few times. Like, these guys would show up and they'd have their fucking cases of fucking beer and fucking meat thrown on the grill, and someone would bust out a fucking 8-ball.
Oh, that shit hurts my stomach now thinking about it. I used to do so much for a while there, man.
Yeah, and I told Rob that I've always been fucking curious about it. Like, I see it on
It's
the
not
fucking
worth
table,
it at all.
and I'm like, should I? I really shouldn't, because they're saying it's fucking addictive. And I'm like,
It's not even good though. Like,
wow.
it's arguably good. Like, it serves a purpose if you have a purpose. Like,
I mean, it's less addictive than meth, but
oh, good. No.
yeah, but like, yeah.
I think it's
it's always the drip, man. The drip. That's what gets me, dude. Like,
The next day, feeling like shit, like your sinuses are all fucked up and fucking
yeah, that's true.
blowing out snot rockets that are full of blood. Like, why?
Yeah.
And there's no part of it that's glamorous other than like the movies where
Make
you're
it
in a
seem
glamour.
to be.
Yeah, because they're in glamorous settings. But if you changed all of their fucking wardrobes and put them in a seedy alley somewhere,
What was
it's just as fucked up.
What was it? It's like, oh, if this was 50 Shades of Grey, it'd be hot. But because it's in a trailer park, it's an episode of Criminal Minds.
Yeah, exactly. Holy shit, where's that from?
Huh? I heard it somewhere, dude. But yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, it's all about your setting, you know?
Yeah.
Because let's face it, I mean, 98% of fucking drug users in America are poverty stricken.
Yeah, it's the rich and famous that are in rehab.
Yeah.
You know, 9 out of 10. Like, it's the ones that can afford it, or whose parents could at least afford their insurance.
Or if the VA pays for your rehab, then it's your fucking second home.
VA pays for rehab.
Yeah.
No shit.
Dude, the 3-month rehab that I went to, and this was at a VA facility.
I might join the National Guard now just for...
That shit was $120,000
That's insane.
just for me.
So how are people supposed to afford that? People that don't have the cheapest thing for fucking therapy here is cocaine or fucking marijuana.
Yeah.
Like, that's all we got here.
Or your local bartender.
Or your local bartender. Fuck that. You go to the fucking local
CVS?
Stripes. No, you just go
So
to
check it
Stripes
out.
and get as many 24 ounces as you can. There's 2 for $5. A Shiner box there at the fucking store down the road.
Shit, I paid 301 for 2 at Town and Country, which
Depends
is
on what you're getting. You're
yeah.
drinking that natty nasty.
yeah.
That nasty light.
Hey, it's only brewed 2 hours less than Bud Light. It's the same shit, same
It's
ABV.
just water. I like flavor. Like, that's why I only drink like Shiner, the Ziegenbach, and shit like that.
Man, it's a little, that's too dark for me, man.
And I
Like,
only drink that if I can't afford the fucking bottle. Usually it's a good bourbon.
I used to mix that with
1835
fucking-
is the greatest bourbon I've ever drank.
I used to mix Natty Lights with fucking ramen noodles when I was living in fucking California. Like, I'd be frying the noodles.
Yeah,
and
we
throwing
understand
all
what you're doing, but
super
why?
Shit. And because all
Well,
we
you know
were
water
fucking,
is cheaper.
because all we were fucking eating was fucking ramen noodles.
Water
we were
is
so
cheaper.
fucking broke and fucking
And tastes
yeah.
better.
And I'm like, fucking, let's give it some fucking flavor. You know?
Well,
Bring
Jesus
up-
Christ, this has been one completely inappropriate fucking podcast. You guys have fucking done wonders for this fucking name.
Yeah, we're about to hang out after this, so.
Are we hanging out?
Well, we are. What about you?
Oh no, I'm kicking y'all the fuck out of here. I got a family. Unlike you fucking useless prick.
Hey, it's not my fault I'm shooting blanks and can't produce offspring.
Is that true?
Huh? I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, with the amount of accidents that I've had, I have yet to produce a fuck trophy.
You'd be
So-
surprised.
that's
Stress,
the fucking
alcohol, all this
meds.
shit can, yeah. If you sobered up, maybe.
No, I mean, I've done it sober too. That's the weird part.
I'm taking so many fucking meds, it's like I'm squirting fucking water.
Jesus Christ, I'm definitely cutting out that last part. That just went hard. Alright, so this has been the Completely Inappropriate Podcast, everybody. Mr. Daniel?
Rob.
Rob. I almost had it. I had it at the beginning there, lost it somewhere along the way. That's okay. So find us at Completely Inap on Twitter, at CI Podcast, on Instagram, at Completely Inappropriate Podcast at gmail.com. If you guys have any questions and want to write in with your own completely inappropriate questions that we can ask each other here. Mr. Frank, anything left to say? Or Mr. Rob, do you have anything interesting that you want to let people know?
Nah, man, I think we covered pretty much
Yeah.
a good amount for today.
Alright.
I don't want to scare the fans away.
Yeah, wow, that ship has sailed. We've lost a few since the beginning of this one. We'll have you back on though, man. You're a lot of fun to have on here. Thanks for showing up, man. We appreciate your
problem.
company. Mr. Frank, what do we tell the beautiful people?
Be excellent to each other.
Find your happy loved ones. Bye.